The next step in diagramming is to construct an AOA diagram, which stands for activity on arrow. And we use the AON diagram as a guide. It's a handy tool for which to construct the AOA diagram. And it isn't always necessary to draw the AOA diagram, but we're doing it because it's in our textbook and it's common practice to use the AOA diagram for illustration purposes. And it's the easiest one to do the scheduling, which we're going to do shortly. So if I look at this, I will see that there's no incoming to A and B. So if you look down at this text diagram here, you can see that I've drawn A and B as the first activities in this network, coming from a circle or a node as we call it. And I arbitrarily drew one up and one in the down direction. Then I went back and looked, what is next? What comes after A? And I see that C comes after A, so there I drew a C after A. After A is finished, I do a circle, and you see the node is numbered. And I know I number the nodes with odd numbers, just as a practice in case I go back and decide to add other numbers in later. For some reason I have to add another activity, I can always use the number 2, which is not on this diagram. And then I go on and I see that D follows B, so I can then show the D on here, which you can see right here. And then I look at the next activity is, I've already got on there now, if you can imagine this partially, I have A, B, and D drawn, and E. Now I want to draw C on the diagram, which you see right here. So look up at C, and C is following one thing, which is A. So again, I see C branching off from the same node where E branched off. And I don't connect it to anything immediately. I just leave it hanging there. And I've connected in this picture, but when I'm actually doing it, I wait. And then I want to put in the next activity, which would be F. Because I have D on there, I have C on there. Now I'm going to do F. And so I look up at F in the AON diagram, and I see it has 2 incoming arrows. What are they? F is preceded by D, and F is preceded by C. So again, I'm going to try to figure out a way to put F on the diagram so that it's preceded by C and D. And C is on there, D is on there, and you can see that F proceeds out from there. The next one I want to put on the diagram will be H. And I look at H in the AON diagram. It has 2 incoming arrows, so it's preceded by E and F. So E and F are on there. So again, I join those together at the node up there, numbered 9, and H will come out of there. Then I want to put G on here, and looking at G has 2 incoming arrows, and they come from D and C. So C and D are on there, so I just put G on there following those 2. And then I, if you notice, I only has 1 arrow coming into it, and that's from G. So I follows G, and that's the end of the diagram. So I join them together at the end. Now this may seem, I've covered this rather briefly, and you may say, well, does it come out that smoothly? No, it does not. The first time you try this, it's going to be a scribble. There's going to be overlapping lines, and it's going to look funny. So inevitably, you're going to draw it and then redraw it, maybe a time or 2. In this class, we're only going to do very simple diagrams. The software we use in the class, Microsoft Project, does the diagramming for you if you have a larger project. We're just trying to get the idea here of how it's done and why it's done that way. I hope this helps a little bit.